Hello, it's our last story time today. So we're going to continue with our Paddington Bear story. Do you remember? Last time we learned that a little bear was left at Paddington Station and Mr. and Mrs. Brown called him Paddington and took him home. And they came to the green front door, do you remember? And their little girl Judy took his hand and took him inside the house after he'd seen Mrs. Bird and Judy's little brother looking out the window. So in they go. "Goodness gracious!" exclaimed Mrs. Bird. "What have you got there?" "It's not a what," said Judy. "It's a bear called Paddington, and he's coming to stay with us." "A bear?" said Mrs. Bird, as Paddington raised his hat. "Well, he has good manners, I'll say that for him." "I'm afraid I stepped on a jam tart by mistake," said Paddington. "I can see that," said Mrs. Bird. "You'd better have a bath before you're very much older. Judy can turn it on for you. I dare say you'll be wanting some marmalade too." "I think she likes you," whispered Judy. And there they are, just about to go up the stairs. Paddington had never been in a bathroom before, and while the water was running, he made himself at home. First of all, he tried writing his new name in the steam on the mirror. Then he used Mr. Brown's shaving foam to draw a map of Peru on the floor. Do you remember he comes from Peru? It wasn't until a drip landed on his head that he remembered what he was supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be having a bath, isn't he? He soon discovered that getting into a bath is one thing, but it's quite another matter getting out again, especially when it's full of soapy water. So there's poor Paddington, and he can't get out of the bath. When Paddington came downstairs, he looked so clean, no one could possibly be cross with him. His fur was all soft and silky, his nose gleamed, and his paws had lost all traces of jam and cream. The Browns made room for him in a small armchair, and Mrs. Bird brought him a pot of tea and a plate of hot buttered toast and marmalade. "Now," said Mrs. Brown, "you must tell us all about yourself. I'm sure you must have had lots of adventures." "I have," said Paddington earnestly. "Things are always happening to me. I'm that sort of a bear." He settled back in the armchair. "I was brought up by my Aunt Lucy in darkest Peru," he began. "But she had to go into a home for old people in Lima." He closed his eyes thoughtfully, and a hush fell over the room as everyone waited expectantly. Can you see them all waiting expectantly for him to carry on with his story? After a while, when nothing happened, they began to get restless. Mr. Brown tried coughing. Then he reached across and poked Paddington. "Well, I never," he said. "I do believe he's fast asleep." After all that's happened to him, said Mrs. Brown, is it any wonder? So that's the end of the Paddington story, and that's our last story before our summer holidays. But since it's our last time together, I thought I'd read you something else as well, just a short one. It's a poem, and it's about a little boy called Christopher Robin, and he likes to hop everywhere. Do you know what hopping is? It's jumping on one leg. So this poem about Christopher Robin is called Hoppity. Christopher Robin goes hoppity, 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 hop. Whenever I tell him politely to stop it, he says he can't possibly stop. If he stopped hopping, he couldn't go anywhere. Poor little Christopher couldn't go anywhere. That's why he always goes hoppity, 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 hop. Okay, I'll read it once more, and this time you do the hopping. Can you do the hopping? Jump up and hop on one leg as I read the poem again. Christopher Robin goes hoppity, 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 hop. Whenever I tell him politely to stop it, he says he can't possibly stop. If he stopped hopping, he couldn't go anywhere. Poor little Christopher couldn't go anywhere. That's why he always goes hoppity, 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 hop. So it's goodbye from me, and I hope you have a lovely summer holiday, and let's hope we all meet again in August. Bye-bye.